If you're young, you need protecting from stupidity. If you're older, you need protecting from illness or whatever. You don't decide what you're getting tattooed. He decides.
So I'm Amy.
I'm Sophie.
And we're thinking about getting a tattoo.
But we want to find out the positives and negatives about getting a tattoo.
We're going to Western High Street to find out people's opinions on tattoos.
So let's go!
It's just a rose with sort of rumbling leaves around it and things.
No.
No.
Yeah, I've got 4.
Yours? Where'd you start?
Both arms, hands, yeah.
Done in the Navy hundreds of years ago.
My first one, it says hallelujah. Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm not very good with pain, and also I think you can live to regret it.
I wouldn't want to put something on my body and then change my mind.
I think they're a really good way of telling stories about your life.
I think they're nice, but they're not for me because I don't have a very good pain threshold.
If people want to get one, then that's fine.
It's very artistic. I think it's brilliant. Yeah. I'm not too sure about ones on faces, but...
It would possibly come into consideration. So for an instance, if someone came for an interview and they had tattoos on their knuckles, or they had some kind of threatening tattoos in a very visible area of their face or neck, and their job was to be with clients, then I believe that there might be a compromise there in terms of the business, and therefore that would make them not fit for purpose. I think if I came across that, I would say it would be unfair, and I think with my ex-employer's hat on, I would say that I don't believe I've made that judgment in a way that would be unfair. I've certainly never excluded anybody based on their tattoos. I think it's a person's right to have tattoos.
After the interview with Neil, I'm kind of worried about getting a tattoo and then getting a job as well, because people don't like to employ other people that have tattoos. But I guess if I don't get a really visible one, then I should be okay. But I would be able to get one that was easy for them to see.
I'm waiting for the rest of my team to arrive so we can record an interview over the phone with Isabel Varley. As someone who is thinking about getting a tattoo, one of my concerns is what it'll look like when I'm older. Isabel Varley is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most tattooed senior in the world, so I thought it would be a good idea to get her opinion.
Hello?
Hello, is this Isabel Varley?
Yeah, is that Sophie?
Yes, it is. When did you get your first tattoo?
1964.
What was the tattoo of, and what made you decide to get it?
A butterfly on my shoulder and something on the top of my leg because it didn't hurt.
What made you decide to get it?
Because I've been going to the tattoo convention in London and I thought how nice the tattoos were, so I went to a guy in Hitchin. That is the next town on to where I live.
That's cool.
He's dead now, but yeah, he a nice guy was.
How did you get to the point where you wanted more and more tattoos?
Well, then I went to somebody else in Wales, that's the next town on, and I didn't like what he did, so then I went to somebody in Wales.
Alright.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. On Monday I did an interview with Isabel Varley, and from that I'm not really scared about what I look like with tattoos when I'm older anymore, because she's quite happy with what she looks like and I think it looks pretty cool too. So.
Going to behind bars now to get some real tattoo artists' opinions.
waves, make me sit in dark, fighting away, she's in no structure.
Yeah, I think you alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. Yeah! Mid films.
How long have you been a tattoo artist?
Since 2005.
7 years, just over 7 years.
3 years.
Do you know of anybody that has had that problem with tattoos affected their life or career?
I know one mate. He's sort of tattoos on his hands, and his neck, his head and stuff. He struggles finding work and that, and he sort of gets looked at like kind of like a thug. Even though he's probably one of the nicest blokes in the world. So
a mate of mine who I won't name got quite a lot of work on his face, and he said to me he didn't realise how much it was going to affect everyone else. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, I don't mind looking like a thug, that's why I had them done, but now every time I go out with my family, it's a family of thugs. Every time I go out with my friends, it's a gang of thugs. It affects everyone else that he knows. You don't think of that when you have it done.
What's the best tattoo you've ever given somebody?
I've done a few that I thought, yeah, that's really good. I suppose I've done my mate's tattoo. It's like a timepiece, rib piece tattoo. There's some remembrance of his mum, sort of little pocket watch and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, it's how you call the best, you know. I mean,
Maybe what you're most proud of?
probably I do a lot of dot work, what's called, all this stuff. I drew all this. It's tattoos made of dots. It's a bit different, looks different, you know. But I've done a lot of silly ones as well. I played noughts and crosses on someone's leg the other day. They wanted me to. And we drew loads of little grids on them and played noughts and crosses on them. There you go.
Is there any advice you would give to somebody who wants their first tattoo?
Yeah, find the design, put it up on the wall and leave it there and just keep looking at it. And if you like it after about 6 weeks, then chances are you're not going to regret it. Also get something with meaning behind it as well, rather than just going, I want that one. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people now get them on their 18th birthday. I've done loads of them. The day they're 18 they get them because they've been already thinking about it from when they were at school, and they've got it all planned out and everything. And you know, if it's in a sensible place and it's not too insane, then it's all good. But be sure what you want, definitely, because the removal's not cheap and it hurts more than the tattoo, and you don't want to get it lasered off. So get what you want. Really, yeah.
Think about it really carefully, plan it out, make sure it's definitely what you want.
But the original Maori tattooists, they think us in the Western world are all insane, because when you go for a tattoo there, you have an interview first, right? And the tattooist decides what you want for your tattoo. So we'll put stuff in it like turtles. Turtles are lucky, or depending on your age and who you are. If you've got kids, you need kids protected. If you're young, you need protection from stupidity. If you're older, you need protection from illness or whatever. You don't decide what you're getting tattooed. He decides.
So I went to Behind Bars yesterday and they were pretty helpful. I found out about a lot of positives of getting a tattoo from the tattoo artists.
Ew, is that actually an infection? I thought that looks like a sand. It looks like sand. That looks like sand. That looks like bad acne.
That looks like sauce. I got this while a teenager. I met the greatest girl in the world and now I'm married. Problem is, she's afraid of dragons. I started getting it removed, but it will take years. Yeah, he married a girl and she doesn't like dragons and he has a dragon tattoo.
So when I was 15, yes, 15 stupid, I know, I thought it would be a great idea to get a tattoo. My friends and I heard of a tattoo parlour that didn't really look at IDs and gave you a tattoo anyway. At the time it seemed like a good idea because I was 15. I don't think I realised that tattoos really are forever. I remember waking up the next morning and thinking it was going to wash off in the shower. Mum hated it.
Regret is not even the word. I absolutely hate this tattoo. I was in my teens, in love, so I took it upon myself to tattoo Hazel on my arm. Our love didn't last, of course, so the time came where I wanted to erase that. You will see the word Hazel bleeding through, and now I have to look at this ugly flower that looks like a spider.
I guess you just have to be extremely sure of what tattoo you want, because like things change in life, don't they? So like the guy liked that girl and then got a tattoo for her, and then
triple the pain to get it removed, triple the cost to get it removed.
And if your future wife/husband doesn't like it, it's going to be a bit awkward.
And you need to be sure of where to get it done, because that needles, you don't want infections. You have to be able to trust the tattoo artist if they're going to permanently scar your body.
Alright, make sure you go to a reliable tattoo parlour that asks for ID.
Okay, well the first one then is the one on my finger. I regret it because it's my ex's name and he sucks. I had it done because I was having my son's name on my back, and at the same time my ex was having a tattoo done, so he said he was going to have my name on his finger, so I should have his, and that was that really. The one on my wrist I actually quite like, it's just that it was really poorly done. It was patchy in places and some of the letters are far apart and some of them are really close together, so I wanted it removed. I'm having them removed. I'm having laser on my finger and on my wrist, but I've just found somewhere that actually does it by injection, because so far I've spent about 400 quid on this one, and by injection it's supposed to be quicker.
Throughout this whole experience, I still want a tattoo, and I will get one when I'm 18, but for now I guess I'll just have to wait until then, because the advice I learnt was to wait until you're 18 if you definitely want a tattoo.
This experience has taught me to not get a tattoo until I'm older, because what I want now might change in like 10 years time, and that I've got to be extremely sure as to what I want, and it's got to be meaningful to me, so that I want it for the rest of my life, and to not get one in a really, really obvious place, because that will stop me from getting a job.